Level 1. The Keyword Monkey. Age 23, Fort Meade, Maryland. $52,000 a year. Your job title is Signals Intelligence Analyst. Your actual job is typing words into a search box and waiting. The program is called X-Keyscore. Imagine Google, except instead of searching the internet, it searches every email, call, and message moving through the internet, every day, across the entire planet. Your supervisor slides you a list. Spanish words. Cargamento, shipment. El primo viene mañana, the cousin's coming tomorrow. Frontera, border. You flag it. You send it up the chain. You never find out what happens next. Ever. You ask once. Your supervisor looks at you like you just asked to see the nuclear codes. You don't ask again. Here's what you're learning though, sitting in the hum of that basement. The cartel doesn't use burner phones like in the movies. They don't dramatically smash one phone and pull out another. They use hundreds of phones, rotating them on a schedule, mixing real calls with fake ones, flooding the system with noise just to exhaust people like you. And sometimes, just to be old-fashioned, they skip technology entirely and use a guy on a bicycle. You cannot wiretap a bicycle. You eat lunch at your desk. When people ask what you do at parties, you say, data management. They immediately look for someone more interesting to talk to. Honestly, perfect. Level 2, the pattern guy. You're 25, you got top secret SCI clearance. You move upstairs. The view is identical because there are no windows on this floor either, but the data is completely different. You're not reading messages anymore. You're mapping behavior. Who calls whom? When? How long? From where? This is called metadata. And metadata, you now understand, is more revealing than the conversations themselves. Pull up one cartel-linked phone in Culiacan. It connects to 6 numbers clustered in Nogales, right on the Arizona border, 2 in Chicago, 1 in a suburb of Atlanta, every Tuesday and Friday, 9 p.m., 3 minutes exactly. That's not small talk. That's a logistics meeting. The bottom of the network is loud, constant calls, short bursts, messy chatter. Soldiers checking in, drivers confirming routes. The top of the network is almost completely silent. 1 call a week, sometimes less. The silence is where the real power lives. You make $74,000. You have a 1-bedroom apartment 20 minutes away. You own a houseplant. It's barely alive, but so are you. So you two have an understanding. Level 3, the tunnel vision guy. You're 27 now. Real assignment, real target. A logistics coordinator running drug tunnel operations under the San Diego-Tijuana border. Tunnels so sophisticated, they have rail systems, ventilation, and electric lighting. Built better than some metro stations. You think this is going to feel like a spy movie. It feels like staring at a screen for 11 hours, going home, and staring at a different screen. But here's where your brain starts working differently. The cartel knows surveillance systems flag unusual patterns, so they manufacture normal ones. Endless fake calls, meaningless texts. You're swimming through an ocean of decoys they built specifically to waste your time. Then you find it. A Facebook group, Familia Sonora, regional cooking community. Photos of sunsets, tamales, and someone's abuela's mole recipe. Completely wholesome. 0 red flags. Except the image files contain hidden GPS coordinates embedded in the pixel data. Tunnel shaft locations. Pickup coordinates. Delivery windows, disguised as food photography. Someone hid a multi-million-dollar drug operation inside a recipe group. You stare at your screen for a long moment, half horrified, half genuinely impressed. DEA moves in. 4 arrests. 11 kilos of fentanyl seized. You write a 3-page intelligence report. 40 people read it. 0 people say your name out loud. You make $91,000. No vacation in 14 months. You now look at every food Instagram account with professional suspicion. Level 4, the paranoia spiral. You're 29, you relocate. From your new building, you can see Mexico. Not metaphorically, literally, it's right there. Your new mission? Figure out how the cartel is detecting your people. And here's the moment the job permanently changes your brain. They are not just evading you, they are actively watching you watch them. They've identified which cell towers DEA agents frequently use. They've cataloged which unmarked vehicle models law enforcement prefers: the beige Tahoe, the black Suburban, the rental sedan that screams federal employee. They have paid sources inside Mexican federal police who send real-time warnings the moment an operation spins up. You are not hunting them. You are two hunters in the same forest, and they've been in this forest a lot longer. Your task force loses 2 informants in 6 weeks. One is found in the Juarez River Basin. The other just stops existing. No body, no final call, no last ping on any cell tower. Just a node that goes quiet and never comes back. You fill out your mandatory annual mental health questionnaire. You check performing well under pressure. You submit it. You move on. You are absolutely not performing well under pressure, but you are showing up, and right now, that counts. Salary, $108,000. Corporate apartment. Sunday calls home. The calls keep getting shorter every week, and nobody mentions it, and that somehow makes it worse. Level 5, the paperwork assassin. You're now 32, new title, new power, and a completely unglamorous way of using it. You can now officially target individuals, meaning you write a document so detailed, so legally airtight, that a federal judge authorizes the full weight of NSA collection to focus on one single human being. Your current target has no name in your files, no photograph. You know him only by his voice pattern, a specific rhythm pulled from a dozen intercepted calls. He pauses 2 seconds before answering questions. He ends calls without saying goodbye. He never uses names, ever. He rotates phones constantly and should be untouchable. Except he called the same voicemail box twice from 2 different phones. 2 small mistakes on 2 bad days. That's all you needed. You build the package. 32 pages. Communication timelines, geolocation clusters, financial traces from a parallel treasury investigation, behavioral analysis. You hand it up the chain. You receive a firm nod. The operation transfers to a different team, and you are, once again, told nothing. 3 months later, a man is arrested at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. No press conference, no announcement. He just disappears into the federal system like he never existed. You never confirm it was him. You probably never will. You make $127,000. You bought a couch that didn't come from IKEA. This is, genuinely, the most tangible reward the job has produced. You also have a plant that is thriving. You've turned a corner. Level 6. The management hell. You're now 36. They promote you. Big mistake on their part. 12 analysts. 3 active operations. Budget meetings that could end wars through sheer boredom. Congressional briefings where you explain, very carefully, how a classified surveillance program works, without explaining how it actually works, to a man who still prints his emails. Your best analyst leaves for Palantir. Double the salary. You shake their hand and smile, and then sit in your office for 10 minutes doing nothing. Then another one goes to Booz Allen Hamilton. Then a third. The institutional knowledge you spent years building walks out the door in a blazer and never comes back. Because the private sector figured out that the government trained the best data analysts on Earth, and all you have to do is pay them what they're worth. Meanwhile, your junior analysts are quietly breaking. Tracking a trafficking network looks like updating a spreadsheet. A murder shows up as a node going silent in a database. You remind them constantly, these are real people. This data represents lives. Then you tell them to get back to work, because the operation doesn't pause for feelings. $154,000 a year. House in Northern Virginia. You installed 7 security cameras yourself. Not because the neighborhood is dangerous, just because you can't not. 4 to 6 hours of sleep, every night, for 2 years running. You've genuinely stopped noticing. Level 7, the Situation Room. Age, 40. The Peak, the White House. Once a quarter, you sit in the most famous room in American government and brief people who move armies. You have 20 minutes, 1 slide deck, sanitized for the room. You tell them, Sinaloa cartel logistics have migrated 34% of coordination to end-to-end encrypted platforms in the past 18 months. Chemicals continue to arrive via container ship from Guangzhou to the port of Manzanillo, clearing customs largely without disruption. Tunnel construction under the California border has become more sophisticated, not less. The cartel is not weakening. It is adapting faster than the legal process allows us to respond. Someone in a very expensive suit asks if there's a technical solution. You take a breath. You say, "The technology isn't the bottleneck." The room moves on to the next agenda item. You walk out into a gray DC afternoon and do the math you've been doing for 17 years. Estimated cartel annual revenue, $19 to $29 billion. Total U.S. drug seizures last year across every agency, every operation, every analyst like you, around 3 billion. You've dedicated your career to the most sophisticated surveillance apparatus in human history. The gap is not closing. Level 8, The Fall. Age 43. A Tuesday morning. You sit in your car in the parking garage for 22 minutes. You count them. Then you go inside, you write an email, and you resign. No drama, no breakdown. Just HR paperwork, a reminder of your lifelong legal obligations, a firm handshake, and a very thick folder of things you are never allowed to discuss. You drive home. The 7 cameras are recording. You don't turn them off. Some habits are structural now. You know exactly how the Sinaloa cartel communicates. You know how the Jalisco New Generation cartel has restructured since 2022. You know how money moves through shell companies in Panama and real estate in Phoenix. You know the architecture of a criminal system that has survived every administration, every offensive, every high-profile arrest, and continued, without interruption, generating billions. You spent 20 years learning the shape of something that has no center. The cycle, final level. Right now, tonight, in Fort Meade, Maryland, a 23-year-old is waiting for a government laptop to boot up. It's taking forever. They have a list of keywords, a cold coffee, a security badge that gets them into exactly one floor. They have absolutely no idea what they just walked into. And in Culiacan, a phone pings a cell tower. The data moves. The network shifts. The route runs. New analysts, new programs, new operations with new code names. Same system. The cartel is not a gang or a company or even an organization. It's a market. And markets don't die when you arrest the people running them. They just find someone else to run them. Someone younger, hungrier, already sitting on a corner, waiting for their shot. The NSA has a $10 billion annual budget, the most powerful surveillance technology ever built, and some of the smartest analysts alive. And the cartel woke up this morning and got to work.